Hi everybody, so not only am I showing off another tinsel ponytail hairdo, this time with an ombre pink. It's actually purple to pink and it's a twist again, except I also want to show off, in case you haven't noticed yet, my little butterfly eyelashes. Can you see how they're like metallic? They're sort of like a bronze goldish, and just flirt. So I thought that the butterflies could symbolize like metamorphoses, change. I noticed that a lot of people are talking about back to school, and for some people that means that their kids are going off to college, so they're empty nesting now, or they're preparing to. And I was thinking about just life changes in general. And, with the pandemic, my mom became a widow, and I recently lost a feline son. And I was thinking about different changes that people go through in life, and so I sort of wanted to represent that with my butterfly eyelashes. And I was thinking about how probably one of the best skills you can have in life is just adaptability, and that's something that came more easily to me, I think, just because I grew up as an army brat. Both of my parents are in the military. We moved around a lot. We went to different schools. We lived in a lot of different states. I was born overseas, so I think that I learned to sort of go with the flow a little more and just have an understanding that I'm not in control of all these changes. That a lot of times they're imposed on you. There's nothing you can do about it, and you just have to roll with it. And I think I've noticed a lot of times people around me struggle, especially people who have lived in the same place their whole lives. They struggle with different changes, and I struggle too, but I try to look for solutions as much as possible and reach out to people that I know who maybe have gone through similar types of changes or issues that can help me. Like, for example, with my feline son dying, my brother had a canine daughter die on him, a couple of them actually, and so he was a really good source of support to me. And so gracias mi hermano for that. And I just think that it's important to build a network of people that you can rely upon, that aren't just people who are going through the same change as you now, but people who have before, and also network with people who are younger than you, who can keep you abreast of new changes that are coming about now, so you don't get stuck in some sort of nostalgia of the old days and how things used to be, because a lot of times, if you're being honest with yourself, things back in the day were not as great as they do seem in hindsight, like in the rearview mirror. So I've just been trying to keep a positive attitude about various changes that I'm going through in my life. And I know everybody's going through changes. So if you are, you're not alone. There are other people going through the same thing, and there are people who have gone through it before you who can help you and give you some suggestions. Sometimes we're not always too open to suggestions, but it will help you the more open-minded you can be. And that's just my little tidbits, my 2 cents, because I've been around the block a couple of times. I'm not a kid anymore, and I'm not even a young adult anymore. Now I'm more moving into middle age, and so I feel like I can give a couple tidbits of information. And yes, I'm an intelligent person, I'm talented, these are great skills to have, but I think it's actually more important to be adaptable, because if you're adaptable and you can learn new things and go with the flow, you can adjust to changes so much better than somebody who's stuck in their ways. Even if they're smart, even if they have talent, if they can't embrace new changes and new technologies, they're just not going to fare as well, because the one thing, if you look around, you look at nature, the one thing you can always rely on is that change is inevitable and it's always like constantly occurring. So don't let yourself be overwhelmed. Sometimes it's good enough just to get through the day intact. If you're intact and not in jail and not in the hospital, then you're doing great. If you are in jail, hope that you get out someday. If you are in the hospital, I hope that you get better and you get out someday. But just keep breathing until then. Sometimes just breathing is enough. So don't be too hard on yourself. Everybody is going through something. It is not just you. Okay? So don't beat yourself up. And have a good day. Peace, everybody.